Spoiler alert, the following podcast includes discussions on film that may potentially, intentionally or inadvertently, reveal plot twists, character traits, story details, up to and including endings that might otherwise be considered spoilers. Proceed at your own risk.
You're listening to Moviesucktastic.
Sounds like some bad movie.
Yeah.
Okay. So do we want to move right into Mr. Bean's Holiday now?
Yes, please.
All right. So here's the trailer for Mr. Bean's Holiday. Here we go.
La mer.
France, a country of culture, beauty, and peace. It's always been the perfect place to take a holiday. Not anymore.
So there you have it. Mr. Bean's Holiday. All right, so we got the movie playing in the background.
All right.
There you go. Good times.
Now, as I mentioned before, I had seen this film already. Joey had.
I have not seen this yet.
Well, you watched it recently, though.
I watched it for review tonight.
Right, and so after you first, with your first impressions on the film,
it feels like it just ended 10 minutes ago. That's how long this film felt. It's an hour and a half. It's a hard 90. I mean, and that's with credits, so you're talking about maybe an hour and 25 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what? You know what I need to do? Shit. Hold on a second.
Oh no! What?
No. This is a part of not my complaint. I'm watching this movie, right?
Yes.
And I'm gonna fix this for everybody. I'm watching this movie, and about a half an hour in, I realize I don't understand what anyone is saying.
Yeah.
Because there's no fucking subtitles.
Yeah.
And this is basically a foreign movie.
Right.
I don't have subtitles for the first half an hour.
Yeah.
I was like, I guess I'm not supposed to understand what they're saying.
No.
Well, there are subtitles for the movie.
Are there?
Yes.
I don't know why. It works better without them.
Maybe if you're high, but
Funny you should mention that.
Funny you should mention that. But here, for our audience's listening pleasure. Oh, really? I have to do that?
Now, see, I personally like the film without subtitles because it's international films. It's almost like a silent film. International film. There's not really a language. You don't understand what's going on, and it puts you in the same position as Mr. Bean, where you don't understand the non-English.
Right.
And I find not knowing what they're saying is an immersion into the film for me. I prefer it. Now,
but it's not intended that way.
I think it works. Now, the first time I saw this, I was in a mentally altered state, and it was the funniest thing I'd ever seen in my life.
You don't say.
And I rewatched it again this past week, and just to make sure everything was on the level, I also watched it again in a mentally altered state, and it was just as fucking hilarious.
Okay, so you've never seen this film
sober.
Fine. Okay, I just wanted to make sure of that.
And I don't recommend it.
But that's how I watched it. I didn't have access to anything that would alter my mental state.
I
do now. I almost wish that we are reviewing this next week, because I have stuff that I could do now.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about either.
But I mean, the plot is amazingly simple. Mr. Bean wins a church raffle that puts him on a Cannes week vacation.
In France.
Right. And of course, as with anything Mr. Bean does, everything goes horribly wrong.
Everything.
Now,
avoidably, he could avoid all of it.
Now, in order to get into the film, you have to go the Mr. Bean character, which was cultivated in the TV show.
That's right.
And also the stage when he would do it on stage. There's an innocence, a childlike innocence to the character, which exhibits itself in two main ways. I feel one in a kind of selfishness that is less prevalent in this film. But it's a selfishness that gives way to, selflessness.
Right.
Which is kind of the character arc, because he goes off, his very selfish acts that cause things happening in the first place, but then he goes out of his way to try to rectify them. But also at the same time, it's this, and again, sober, you may not catch on, but he is kind of he's a leaf in the wind.
No, he definitely is. You're right, and the childlike mannerisms that you say. I mean, they're perfectly portrayed in the very beginning of the film when he ends up in that French restaurant. That's exactly how my children would react to that food. There's no different.
Now, the perfect example for me in the film of when I say leaf in the wind is that when he basically what happens, he's on this trip, and due to his own actions, this father gets separated from his son, and so Mr. Bean decides to try to help to get the kid back to his father.
Right. It's his fault that his son was detached from his father.
I don't even think he realizes it's his fault, but he still feels responsible.
Yeah.
And so there's a scene where the two of them are getting on a bus, and he loses the ticket, and it floats. The wind blows it away. And he chases after it because he needs the ticket to get on the bus with the kid. And he chases it, and it ends up getting caught on the foot of a chicken, and he ends up chasing the chicken.
Right.
And then the chicken gets put in a truck, and the truck drives away, and he steals a bicycle and chases the chicken into the countryside.
Right. And then he ends up in a chicken coop with thousands of chickens.
But I mean, even when you get to that part, though, like just the fact that he leaves and he's racing across the countryside to get this bus ticket. and again, maybe it's funnier because I wasn't in my right mind at the time, but just trying to comprehend, but why doesn't he just go back and buy another ticket? It's just that you have to go. And the other flip side of that is, like, after all this happens, like, push comes to shove, he wakes up on a movie set, and then they mistake him as an extra, so they just put him in a Nazi uniform, and he just goes with it.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, this is what I'm doing today.
Goose stepping and everything.
But just like there's no art. It's just I'm sorry. You tell him to do something and he does it. And
Yes.
There's something bizarre about that is so endearing to the character.
And it always has been. Even way back when I used to watch the TV show. I mean, it was obviously made for the BBC, but HBO picked up his shows and would show them because HBO was one of those channels that they were very diverse that way. They would show things, from other countries and things like that. And they would pick things like that up. And Mr. Bean was one of those shows. So I used to get to watch this, as like a young teenager growing up, and that was my real first introduction to the Mr. Bean character. So I go way back with Mr. Bean. I mean, even when he was doing Blackadder and shit like that. But I always found, I think I always found Rowan Atkinson fascinating. Just everything that he's done, I always find fascinating. But I think it's him that he really sells it. He really makes you, even when he's doing these idiotic things, you love him for it. You just love that he's doing it because that you love that character, and it's always been that way, at least for me. Like right now, he's walking through the street. He's just paying attention to where he needs to go, his ticket, and he does not care about anything that's happening behind him. Cars are almost getting into accidents. He's looking around. He's like, "What the hell's wrong with them?" Like that's his, like his reaction to that.
But even like the like a childlike comprehension of foreign language, when he tries to beg Paris train station, he walks up to the woman and goes, mission. That's why this film works great without subtitles. Because even he doesn't make any sense.
Well, yeah. Well, there's no subtitles for that scene, but yes,
but, you don't understand what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying.
The
kid does it and it's cute. He does it and it's like, ugh, get away from
he
me.
does it in a real language. But I'm saying the kid actually speaks a language. Mr. Bean goes with, I'm not making it up. Those are the actual dialogue. Mishi, which I now want to do to somebody.
Go do that at Home Depot.
You should have. Now, the part that remains burned into my mind, due to the mental state I was in when watching this both times, is the hitchhiking scene.
Oh, yeah.
Because it goes on forever.
It goes on for a while.
Forever.
It's like I said, this movie's an hour and 30 minutes, and I had this on in the background while I was doing some late night work. Now, I didn't have to do this late night work.
I was glued to the screen, by the way.
Oh, really?
I was watching this intently.
Well, I didn't have to do. Well, here's the weird thing. I didn't have to do this late night work, but lately it seems that when I try and watch a film, when I get home from work late, I end up falling asleep and having to watch it again while I'm at work, which is a big no-no. So I said, you know what?
That's why you don't do it.
That's why I don't do it. So I said, I'm going to do some work. I'm going to do some, remote in, some VPN stuff. And I'll have this movie on while I do it. Well, I'm doing work, right? And then I look over, and he's in the countryside chasing a chicken, and I didn't know why. And I'm like, wait a minute. He was with the kid. They were getting on a bus. And I just figured I started to do the work, and I look up. Literally, like 5 minutes later, I'm like, why is he chasing a chicken? I had no idea why that was. I had to actually rewind it 15 minutes.
You can't look away.
I learned that. So I had to stop what I was doing, and I had to watch that scene over again. This is something that's it's interesting too. 11 minutes in, and they just got finished putting up, like, produced by, written by, directed by. Mm-hmm. It took 11 minutes to get all that through.
Now, yeah, we are so accustomed over the past decade or so of comedies being like this just onslaught of quick one-liners, I think like improv kind of snappy dialogue has become the major force in comedies over the past decade or so. We've gotten away from like the slow build setup or just the humorous, it's kind of a European feel to it.
Right.
We're going back to like what's the name? The French. There's a French series. Give me a second. It's not Poirot. It's Hulot.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hulot's. There was the Hulot films, and he did Hulot's Vacation or something.
Yes.
Hulot's Holiday, Mr. Hulot's Holiday.
As a matter of fact, I've been putting together a Plex series of movies released on my birthday, and that's one of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was. It was released on my birthday, so I'm putting together a collection of films that were released on June 16th.
Right.
So, and that's one of the films which I wasn't able to get until just very recently. The list is incomplete. There are movies that I just cannot get, even like shitty copies of. But I'm still trying. Oh, he's gonna eat that. He's gonna eat that clam. It's got all. It's in its own liquor and everything.
Now, the first time I saw the film, I was kind of disturbed near the end because he gets violent at the end.
He does.
But this time I liked it. It's a very family friendly film. There's no real adult humor in it.
Yeah,
which has always been the case.
I think I could show this to my kids and they would love it.
Yeah, but that's the endearing thing about it, and I think it's one thing we're not used to these days is comedies that are really family friendly.
Right.
And I'm not a proponent of family friendly movies. I'm not Michael fucking Medved, but no, they what?
It's like, wow, Michael Medved, really?
He's always burned in my head because I remember listening to him on the radio, and his big thing was Hollywood doesn't have to make films with adult humor and stuff because look how much money the kids' films make. They can make nothing but these and they make money. It's like, no, you're a fucking idiot.
That's not true.
That's not true in the least because adults go to see adult films, kids go to see kid films with their adults. That's why they make so much fucking money. Fuck you. He's one of those guys like hated like Pulp Fiction and stuff. And when Babe Pig in the City won. What did it? We won an Oscar, right?
For screen, it didn't win for picture. It was nominated for Best Picture.
Right, it was nominated. Yeah, and that he clung to that shit for like, see, if Babe Pig in the City can, they can make real. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, Michael Medved's always gonna be stuck in my head. He's right up there with our favorite guy,
Stephen Whitty.
Yeah, Mr. Whitty.
Now, okay, this is the scene where Mr. Bean is in the restaurant and. He's oh god, oh. Now I like oysters, but you watch this scene in the film. I don't think I could go near an oyster after watching this scene in a film. It would take me like a day or two, and then it'd be like, okay, bring me oysters. I'm good now, because he just basically pretends to eat them, and it piles up in a linen like towel.
His napkin.
Well, it's a nice restaurant, so it's linen. But
it's still a linen napkin.
Yeah. And it's just swooshing around in this napkin. And I'm just thinking, oh, that's what it looks like when it's in your stomach. It's like when you eat it, it's not a big deal. You don't give a shit. But it's just like, it's fucking foul.
And then he dumps it in the woman's purse.
He dumps it in her purse. I just love the faces that he makes while he's eating this food.
Oh, I mean, now, he has a screenplay credit for the character because he created the character, so he's going to get credit for it. He didn't write the film. However, I personally feel that one of the reasons he has a screenplay credit, besides the fact that he created the character, is if you think about it, for a silent character like this, he's technically, since like all of his dialogue is physical, he's technically writing his own dialogue.
Absolutely, he's not completely improv, but he knows what he wants to do with the scene, so he does it.
Yeah, I mean, you just put in if you read the screenplay, it's not going to spell out exactly how he reacts. It just says, oh, he doesn't want to eat the clams, oysters, and Bean. I mean, there are whole sequences where he's acting with other characters, and non-verbally communicating, he's writing his own dialogue.
Yeah, I mean, even if the director came to him and said, "Hey, can you do it a different way, or can you do it like this?" He's ultimately saying he's going to do it. Like, it's just like what you said. He, through improv or any kind of direction, what you see on the screen, that's him, right out of him.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
I know.
Now, this guy, the guy that plays the father, he's been in a bunch of films, and he usually plays some sort of Ukrainian or Russian or like some psychotic person. The one that I remember him most notably is in a film called Running Scared. Not the one with Gregory Hines and Billy Crystal, the one with Paul Walker.
There's like 5 movies called Running Scared.
I know. The two most famous ones are the ones with Gregory Hines and Billy Crystal, and the one from 2006, which came out a year before this, the one with Paul Walker. He played like a Russian mafia guy or some shit like that who was infatuated with John Wayne or some shit, which I like that film. But I like that actor, but he usually plays like a crazy person. So it was interesting that I'm watching this like family-type friendly film, and he's not trying to kill Mr. Bean. Like, he's not like on some like crazy manhunt to get his son back. He's just kind of laid back going, we got a smart kid, he'll call, you'll see.
That would have been the next movie.
We'll just wait around until our son, comes back.
You know what would be great if you combine Mr. Bean's Holiday with Taken.
I have a special set of skills. Just give me my boy back, and I won't have to kill you. But if you don't, I will find you, and I will kill you.
Mushy, 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 mushy.
I usually make that noise when I scratch my dog's chin.
I believe you.
You should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind that's true.
It's the total truth. Mine's just a little higher pitched.
I really like this film better, or more. Excuse me. I like this film more than I do the first film, Bean, where he comes to America.
Oh, right, where he stays at he stays at a family's house.
Because it spends so much time on the too much time on the family, and it's so Americanized that it's like it's not as funny.
This is more to the it's more organic. It's more to the very roots of what Mr. Bean actually is.
And it's more true to the TV show original show how to play out, right, as opposed to let's just put Mr. Bean in this American situation and have him do some of his skits from the show. Exactly.
Yeah. I was never really partial to the Bean film as well. So
I like parts of it, but yeah,
I do like parts of it. I like the opening of the film where he's at the museum, like that whole tissue scene.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they could recreate that scene. It just seemed like too perfect, where he's got the tissue in his nose and he's breathing in and breathing out.
Mm-hmm.
It's perfect, and I just get the feeling it's like they got it. They cut and they tried it again and again and again. They couldn't get it as good as what you actually see in the movie. I just feel like that. It's like things like that Rowan Atkinson really brings forth. He's really good at doing that. Now, Amy McLean, who has her own YouTube channel, requested us to review this film. She did not like this movie. She actually said in her request that she found it dreadfully boring.
Now, obviously, because she did not watch it while in an altered mental state.
Now, I didn't either.
Right.
And I still enjoyed the film, even though it felt like it went on forever. It really did. And I think that's just because even though there isn't a lot going on per se, but I think there is a lot going on.
Now, here's something that I noticed the second time round, and Holly, who watched this with me...
There's always something happening, and I think that's why it felt so long.
Yeah, well, but then there are long stretches. Jokes take a very long time to build. Again, the hitchhiking sequence.
Oh, yeah.
I just love that. But Holly was convinced I would forget this, but I didn't.
Okay.
Was that I noticed the second time around that music plays a very important role in the story. I don't just mean the music you're listening to. I mean the fact that musicians are an integral part of the film.
Yep.
From the opening accordionist that he records when he sees the girl that he's later going to bump into, to the band that picks up the kid and takes him.
Right, that brings the kid back to Mr. Bean.
Right, that they get together with. They're musicians and music itself. That's even how they raise the money. Is he puts on a musical performance?
That's right,
so to speak. and so music is not music. Musicians are like the almost like the Greek chorus of the film, but without saying anything. Music itself, and again, not just music, but musicians are almost a background character to the film, kind of witnessing. Yeah. I thought that blew me away too. I just thought it was, great.
No, yeah. I didn't. Well, not that I didn't notice it. I did notice. I think you had a heightened sense.
Oh yes, I did.
For that,
yeah.
It's something I noticed but didn't really think twice about. But I think it jumped out at you a little bit more due to your heightened senses.
Yes,
for sure.
Extremely heightened.
Extremely.
Yes.
I like that he's recording everything in SP mode. Good for him. Best quality. Mr. Bean.
And what the fuck is Willem Dafoe doing in this?
Yeah, what is he like? He's only like 3 years removed from Spider-Man.
And talk about a complete fuck you to just Hollywood in general.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I love that. It's funny. We're watching it. I had forgotten some of the film. So when he wakes up in like this cute little village, and he's admiring it, I immediately I'm like, oh, I see how they're doing this now. It's like he's seeing the actual countryside in the old world, Europe, or France, as opposed to like this shiny consumer thing that he's going to in Cannes, and it's showing how he gets the better experience this way. And then the Nazis roll in, and then what the fuck? It's like, oh shit, this blew everything I just said out of the water because he's actually on a movie set, or a commercial set.
They spent some real money on this movie.
No.
You could tell. I think they spent $40 million on this movie. I mean, it made. I want to say it made over $200 million, $230 million worldwide. It actually made almost its entire budget back here in America. I think it made $33 million.
My favorite part, hands down, is when he's trying to find the chicken with the ticket. He leaves his bike at the side of the road, and he comes back and the bike's flat. It's like, what, So he finds the camera. He's filming everything on in the basket of the bike. So he rewinds it and watches it, and a tank out of nowhere just comes down the road and runs over the bike.
Yeah.
And then he looks up and looks left and right, and then he's like, oh, that was kind of weird, and just even though they explain it later with the whole commercial thing, I just love that moment of, so a tank out of nowhere flattened my bike. Oh. That's that leaf in the wind thing. It's just like,
yeah.
I just love that.
And I do enjoy Willem Dafoe's character. He's like famous for directing a yogurt commercial, which then now he's directing his film, which is just so completely narcissistic.
Yeah.
Exactly. A film by, I don't even remember his name. It's like a film by, written by, starring, directed. It's just like his name is on the screen for literally a minute.
Carson Clay.
That's it, Carson Clay. And he's going up an escalator, and it's just his face coming at you the whole time. Then it's like him running towards the screen in slow motion. It's just really good stuff.
Well, and again, Mr. Bean was always a blue collar character.
Yeah.
Who didn't really fit in the blue collar world either. I mean, from the show, the original show, he never really. Even then, he was kind of an last man out, odd man out. But this was a good way of putting up against. Again, fish out of water, but he's always a fish out of water. So having him being a fish out of water of a different country, they wisely didn't focus mainly on that. They did that a bit with the French restaurant and stuff, but it's the same thing. And if you remember the TV show, it's the same thing. Him going to church.
Yeah.
Just trying to acclimate to society at all. I expected. I didn't expect to enjoy this the second time as much as I did the first. But then again, I was in an altered mental state both times, and I highly recommend doing it with this.
So maybe we should recommend that to Amy.
I would highly recommend that to Amy. I think if you want to give this a second chance, do so in a mentally altered state.
Yeah.
And
doesn't matter how you get there, just as long as you get there. Yeah.
Just get there. As Mr. Bean showed, it's the journey.
It's the journey.
And I feel bad I gave away some of the jokes, but again, it's the delivery. You can know it's coming, but just how he does it.
Yeah.
And I love the ending. That kind of like that. I don't even know how to describe the ending.
It's a happy ending.
But it takes it to a fantastical solution where it's like, or resolution where, it's like it's everybody's singing and like everybody, like the whole cast comes out. It's like acknowledging, it breaks the fourth wall.
Right, it really does.
Which in a way was also kind of a farewell to the character too. Well, since he knew this, he had said this was going to be the last time he did this character.
Did you watch the film all the way to the end, past the credits?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, so that was kind of what you're saying as well. It's there's a finality to it.
Yeah.
So.
But I just love this. I loved this film.
Sorry, Amy, we liked it.
Yeah, I wasn't even prepared to like it. I was sure I was going to find stuff to bitch about, but I just didn't.
Although I felt like it was twice as long as it actually was, it doesn't mean I didn't enjoy what I saw.
It felt twice as long to me too, but I was actually, that was part of the fun.
Yeah.
Like, is he still hitchhiking?
I think I'm going to watch this again in a mentally.
Please do.
I think I have to.
Yes.
Because my wife's a giggler when she's in that state, so I think this film will go over well.
This is definitely. I think this double feature would be this and Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Sure. Oh, if I sold it like that, I think I could get both of these watched.
And this film even reminded me of Mr. Pee-wee's Big Adventure with the bike sequence.
Oh, here comes the mushy mushy moosey. Yes, the bike sequence, exactly.
Oh, I love that bike sequence too because I hate bicyclists.
Oh, they're real pains in my ass.
Man, fuck them.
I mean, it just seems the more wealthy the area, the more bike lanes you see. And
like fail videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
I love it when they have like the bicyclist race wipeouts.
Oh yeah.
And if they're in France, they're even better. Oh, it's like bonus points.
It tore to bone breakage. Tour
to fuck yourself. How about that?
Tour to ow. No, you know what? Up where I work in scenic North New Jersey, or North Jersey, there's a lot of bicyclists, and there's a lot of them that do not follow the fucking rules. You're in the street,
none of them do.
you're a fucking vehicle.
None of them do.
You can be given a ticket like a vehicle. You can be apprehended like a vehicle. But you see a lot of times people in the street, then they go to the sidewalk so they can go through the red light, or they just go through the red light. They don't stop at stop signs. They don't yield. To avoid vehicles, they go on the sidewalk and go around. It drives me fucking crazy. It really does. So yes, I get your lament towards bicyclists.
I have to mention, I was at my parents' house this past weekend.
Yeah.
Speaking of the fact that, what's her name that recommended the film?
Amy McLean.
Amy. Sorry, Amy. I'm horrible with names.
What's her exact YouTube channel, by the way?
I shared one of her videos recently on our YouTube channel, so it's there.
Okay.
Under our, we have a playlist of other film-related YouTube videos, and so one of them is there. I'll look it up while we're talking. When
I post the video later tonight, I'll put a link in the description for her channel.
I'll find it right now. But because of mentioning the fact that she didn't care for the film, we ended up liking it, so we didn't tear it apart like she was probably hoping. when I was at my parents' house, we don't see eye to eye on a lot of films. There is crossover, but it's every now and then. It's so rare to like find that common ground. And two specific films came up. My mother had seen Get Out.
Oh, okay.
And she loved it. And I was like, yeah, that was a great film.
I haven't seen it yet. I do have it.
Oh, you haven't seen it yet? Oh,
I haven't seen it yet.
It is great. All the hype about it is accurate.
Good.
It's so well done. It deserves all the credit it got and all the money it made.
I'm looking forward to it.
But the other thing
what's cool about that, real quick, it means that Peele, I can never remember his first name, can make more movies.
Yeah.
This made money, he gets to make more movies.
And as much as I like Keanu, it's better than Keanu.
I still haven't seen that yet either.
Oh, Jesus.
But
man,
you said she saw Get Out and she liked it, and then you were moving on to another topic.
Amy McLean, by the way, her channel is TV Critic Amy.
TV Critic Amy. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. But where were you going?
The other film that we had common ground in is we were talking about something, and I forget what we were talking about, but out of nowhere my father said, yeah, well, it could have been worse. I could have watched Hail Caesar again.
Oh, wow.
It's like, yeah, that was horrible. And I'm surprised he hated it as much as I did.
Wow.
But he also agreed with me. The only funny part is the scene where the studio executive gets the heads of all the different religions in a room to try to get them to agree on the portrayal of Christ in the film, and they all just bicker about it.
Oh.
I love that scene. That scene is smart. That scene is what I expect from the Cohen Brothers. The rest of the film was just fucking them not being able to figure out if they love Hollywood or hate it. And if you're gonna do a nostalgic representation of the old cinema days, fucking do it. Don't like snicker out of one side of your face the entire time of, yeah, but there's all bullshit. No, if you're gonna make me watch fucking Channing Tatum do a musical number for 5 minutes straight, fucking own it.
Right.
Yeah, don't fuck. The Coen Brothers rarely get too snooty or like full of themselves for my taste, but they did it with Hail Caesar.
Do you think this is a film that years later will get more respect, or it's always going to suck?
Hail Caesar, no.
I haven't seen it yet, so
no. The other, you just compare it to their other films. This one, it deserves to be somewhere around the Lady Killers.
Oh, okay. Well, you mentioned Hudsucker Proxy a lot of times too. I
don't like Hudsucker Proxy, but
I do like Hudsucker Proxy. I don't love it, but I did like it. And
that film actually is faithful to its nostalgic view. I just don't like how they did it, and it didn't appeal to me. I'm willing to say that's maybe more me than anybody else. But Lady Killers was just like, why are you guys remaking a shitty comedy from, it's just like, and then this one, it was just, why even fucking bother? The fact they got Jonah Hill in it, period, pissed me off, and then it was all downhill from there. There's like one or two like really inspired scenes.
He's a very respected actor, even though he's a total goofball.
Oh, Jonah Hill?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
that film, War Dogs, is supposed to be amazing.
Yeah, great. Whatever. He annoys the shit out of me. There's actually one other scene where the only other scene in Hail Caesar I thought was actually genuinely funny was when they took this Western star and they're trying to put him in an upper class romantic film, and he just isn't nailing the language. And when he does the asides with the director, those are gold. That one scene there is gold. There's like two sequences that are gold. The rest of it is they can't figure out whether they love or hate Hollywood, and they keep going back and forth. And it's just, And then the communism subplot thing was just like just them trying to be too clever for themselves.
I'll have to check it out. I still haven't seen it. It'll be one of those films that I'll end up watching alone.
I know you'll like the two scenes I just mentioned. I don't think you'll like the rest of it.
Probably not. If I do,
George Clooney's totally fucking wasted.
Yeah, I've heard that from more than just you.
Yeah.
George Clooney doesn't make a lot of films anymore. He'll do maybe one every year or two now. He's like that kind of famous. So it's and he loves the Coen Brothers. I mean, he's made
Hey.
Shit. What?
Intolerable Cruelty.
No, the other one.
Burn After Reading.
No, the other one. The first one he ever did with them.
Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou?
Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou? Jesus Christ,
Okay.
Joey. Yes. Which I really do. I love that film.
Yeah, again, the Cohen Brothers, they have so many hits to their misses. It's not like, a good film, a bad film. No, it's great.
Yeah, they're allowed to have a miss every once in a while.
Yeah, I'm not criticizing them for their overall thing, but Hail Caesar was definitely misguided.
This is where I looked away for like a minute, and then next thing I know, he's in the countryside chasing a chicken.
The chicken.
It's like, dude, what happened?
I just
Look, he's just running after it, and then next thing you know, there's the chicken.
of single mind and purpose, but easily persuaded to move elsewhere.
He's got like adult ADHD,
Don't we all?
or just adult ADD.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't have any of the hyper stuff, so it's just adult ADD.
Yeah. But yeah. So the verdict was we liked it. I liked it. Joey didn't like it that much, but he was okay with it.
With this?
Yeah.
No, I liked it.
Okay.
I just felt like it went on forever, but it doesn't mean I didn't like it.
And I thought it went on forever too, but I enjoyed it more.
I need to see it like you saw it.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, that's how I need to see it.
But that's our review of Mr. Bean. Do we want to rate this?
Yeah, let's go ahead and rate this. What's it currently at on the IMDb?
6.3
Okay,
out of 94,000 votes.
above average.
Yeah.
Could we go?
What do you want to do?
7. 7 seems a little high.
It does, doesn't it?
I think 6 is. See, this is one of those times where I'd love to give it a 6.5, 6.5. But I see 7 feels too high and 6 feels too low.
Yeah.
I'm at a crossroads with this.
I have to be fair. I would say the first Bean movie, I would give that a 5.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
This one has a bit more style to it. I would lean towards 7, but I'm okay with saying 6 because we can't do 6.5.
Well, you know what? The fact that it does have that Mr. Bean organic roots to it, where it goes back to the show, it goes back to just his style. I could go 7 with that.
Before I change your mind, I'm going to say 7.
Okay, go for it.
7 it is. And
there's too much I liked about the film to give it a 6 for.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything that I could say, this was okay. Which there wasn't a lot of that. It was mostly I liked. There's too many things that I did like that I feel I feel comfortable with a 7.
Yeah. The demographics are pretty across the board, and the highest demographic is under 18 at 7.1, and the lowest demographic is over 45 at 6.1. Actually, no. Males 30 to 44 gave it 6.
Okay.
So, but it's it's pretty much around 6 to 7 across the board. 4 IMDb staff gave it 5.5.
Douches.
Yeah.
They obviously didn't watch this in a
I guarantee you,
handicapped state.
I guarantee whichever one gave it like lower than a 5 has one of those Lincoln beards or those like Civil War beards that are so popular now,
or
amongst the dirty hipsters,
or a man bun.
A man, it's the beards. Those
usually
beards.
Nowadays, man buns and large beards go hand in hand. Nowadays,
no. Man buns do not have the large beards. Man buns have the goatee or the spinach chin. It's the thinning hair.
Maybe that's what you're seeing in your neck of the woods. I'm seeing beards and man buns in mine.
Yeah, when you start getting into the Pennsylvania area, the full beards go with the thinning hair.
I actually live closer to where hipsters actually are.
And I'm not saying full beard. We're talking Civil War, like Grant versus Jackson, fucking beards.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
Yeah,
with man buns.
Yeah.
And when I see them the most are restaurants as like my servers and shit. I almost want to request. It's like, can I request someone without a man bun or a beard? I can only deal with one of these things right now. So that's what I want to do. Whenever they come to my table, it's like, no. It's like whenever I see these like Mustangs, or I see any of these sports cars which are turned into unmarked police vehicles. I see people pulled over by those sometimes. I'd be like, I'm sorry, I cannot be pulled over by a fucking Ford GT Mustang. Send a fucking Ford Crown Vic to give me this ticket. I refuse to be given a ticket by you driving a sports car.
Officer, I can't take you seriously in that car, please.
Yeah, fuck you. You're driving a fucking Mustang. No. Send a fucking Crown Vic or send a Ford Explorer. They can give me the ticket, not you.
So much anger today, Joey. So much anger.
Well, it's fucking deserved.
I'm feeling kind of mellow, so I think it kind of evens out.
Yeah, there you go. So I think that's kind of our show.
I think that covered it.
I think so.
Anything else going on in the movie front? Things you're looking forward to seeing? Things you have seen?
I still haven't seen Kong, the new Kong film.
Same here.
I heard that's good. I haven't seen Get Out. I'm looking forward to seeing that. As far as like summer films coming out, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 just came out. I haven't seen that yet. I hear it's pretty good.
Yeah, the women in my life saw it and they all loved it.
So,
oh,
really? Did they think it was as good as the first, better, or
they thought it was better? They thought it was
better. Well,
now this is them, so I'm not,
fine.
I'm not saying it doesn't mean it's going to suck. I just thought, we might be looking for different things, but they loved the film.
Okay.
Oh, here's funny. Holly's mother came down, and they actually she had seen it too, and we went out for dinner. And I mentioned, they started talking about it. I said, well, just to remind everybody, I'm the only person sitting at this table that has not seen it. So just want to put that out there. I was like, oh, yeah, of course. And, of course, 3 times through the rest of the evening, of course, her mother gave up key part. Well, I just couldn't believe that he did blah, 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 blah. I was like, God, really?
That's where you gotta show the back of your pimp hand. You got to do it.
You
got to do it.
I just... It's just like it's not like Fight Club. I mean, what she's revealing. I'm not going to Guardians of the Galaxy 2 to be shocked by the twist, but I was like, come on! I came right out and said it was, and before I said that, no one said anything revealing. Right. The minute I said that, like 3 times a night, like we're talking like 3 hours later, oh, like out of nowhere, yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy when that happened and this, it's like, oh. Fine.
Here's the hitchhiking scene. He's just walking alongside of the bike that he just stole from this old guy.
I love that.
And he just pushes him off. Get the fuck out of here, bitch.
Well, I don't know. That language is not in tune with the.
No, I could tell that's what he was saying.
Oh, sure.
If this had a harsher rating, he would have got the finger as he drove away on the bike.
You can't give Mr. Bean a PG-13.
No. This is a G rating, isn't it?
Oh, gotta be. Yeah. Why would it not be G? I'm not even looking it up. It's a G.
I'm pretty sure it's a G.
Oh, hang on a second. You
want to look at the
Parents Guide.
Parents Guide.
Oh, my God. Sex and nudity. Sex and nudity. One very mild illusion when Mr. Bean accidentally enters an occupied lavatory on a train. As he leaves, he is spotted by a transit officer and grins suggestively. Just the hint of homosexuality has the parents running to IMDb. On another occasion, a man is seen from behind in a public toilet using a urinal.
Okay.
Sabine wears a green dress that reveals a bit of cleavage. And when Mr. Bean visits the beach in France, we briefly see some bikini-clad women as he walks by.
What the fuck?
Yeah, right? Violence and gore. There's actually 3 entries. One instance of very mild violence when Bean knocks a security guard out with a handbag. Oh my God. Honestly, that shocked me the first time I saw the film because I thought it was over the top. And then the second time I was like, yeah, fuck it. That's how he rolls. Here we go. A man, in parentheses, comically, jumps off a bridge into a river as a form of suicide. Parentheses, non-explicit. All right, I can kind of see with that, but
And is it rated PG?
I'm not looking at that. I'm telling you, it's G.
Come on,
And
you're there. It's at the top of the screen.
And a body is seen in a morgue, also comical. Parentheses. Profanity, none, except for two uses of damn, spoken Russian, and one use of darn and heck.
Whoa. Darn and heck are considered profanity in some fucking weird, bizarro land way?
They said no profanity, but then went out to point out things that were almost profanity, such as damn and spoken in Russian.
Fuck these people.
What's Russian for
Fuck
damn?
these people that exist. I'm sorry.
Alcohol/drugs/smoking, brief holding.
Whoa, say that again? You were all broken up.
Alcohol, drugs, and smoking.
Yeah.
Breathing of a character holding a cigarette.
Whoever wrote that didn't get the memo that smoking in films doesn't fucking mean anything. Hollywood, or the MPAA, tried to give an automatic R for a smoking scene, and they fucking failed miserably. So whoever wrote that up was like, "Oh, somebody's smoking. I got to put that in there." It's like, fuck you. Give a film an R. Like, Who Framed Roger Rabbit would have gotten an R because it was when Bob Hoskins hops on the back of a trolley. Like, he hitchhikes a ride on the back of a trolley. There's a couple of kids that are on there. There's one of the kids is smoking a fake cigarette, but is supposed to be, deemed smoking in that scene. It's like, ugh, stop it.
I don't see the rating.
It's up. It's going to be up at the top.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's not.
Don't make me look it up.
There's no rating at the top of the screen.
You made me look it up. Let's see what you've done now.
It's down here. Oh, it's PG from brief, mild language.
What, damn?
I guess the two Russian dams and heck and darn put it over the edge.
Give me a fucking break. I've heard more swearing in Disney movies. Jeez.
Yeah. Fucking MPAA can suck it.
They sure can. Anyway. All right, let's go ahead and end this thing.
Yeah.
Let's do that. We could do that. Let's do it.
Yes.
Oh, wait. Yeah, okay, that works. Whew. I was like, this ain't going to work, but it works.
Okay.
Episode 245. Thank you, as always, for joining us. Make sure you go to our website at moviesucktastic.com, and you can download all the shows there. You can listen to the show right from the site as well, or you can tune in live every Thursday at 8 o'clock and hang out with us while we do this show live. There's also a mobile version of the website that's been acting up for some reason. Apparently, our hosting service, with our web design, or the design that I did, if you, for any reason, don't have an updated version of Flash, it just takes you to the mobile version instead of telling you to update your Flash. So I might have to actually turn off the mobile version of the website for a while until I figure out what the fuck it's doing. Sorry. You can also go to iTunes, and you can download this show there as well. You can listen to it right from iTunes if you want. You can go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/moviesucktastic. And everything that we talk about is from trailers to when we go live to just movie news. Like today, I just posted that they're doing a Dark Crystal TV show for Netflix. A 10 episode. I'm looking forward to it. I always liked the Dark Crystal.
Never liked the Dark Crystal.
I know you never did. Because there's something wrong with you a little bit.
It freaked me out. There's no humans in it. As a kid, it always freaked me out.
Yeah, the Skeksis are fucking weird.
Yeah, no.
It's one of the things I loved. Anyhow, you can leave us email. The address is themovieguys@moviesucktastic.com. If you leave us email, we'll read it on the show. So please do that. If you want to leave us voicemail, it's 908-514-4470, and we'll play that on the show as well. Just make sure to keep that 3 minutes or less.
Chino?
Just try.
He knows I'm kidding.
I know. Get the free Android app for your phone or tablet. Everything I just said is in there, and it's a really good app. and I think you'll enjoy it. And of course, it's free, so what the fuck are you complaining about?
Yeah, shut up.
And
stupid listeners.
Yeah. Oh, and there's a Tumblr page that Scott maintains. He does a real good job with it. It's moviesucktastic.tumblr.com.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you do. I like it.
That in spurts.
There's Mr. Bean goose stepping. Like it's his job. All right, everybody. Well, that about does it. Do you have any words of wisdom, Mr. Wilson?
Bean.
Yeah.
Bean.
Mishy.
Mishy.
And most importantly, watch this movie high. Yes.
In a mentally altered state.
Yes. In some way, shape, or form, get there and watch this. You won't be disappointed. I will be doing that this weekend, I think.
You better.
I think I am. All right, everybody. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks for joining us, as always. Bye-bye.